JD here to Limitless, and as you can see, career mode is back, and this has been long overdue, which I will be explaining over the course of the next few minutes. And as you can see, we're at Bahrain here today, round 4 of the championship. This is my qualifying lap, which was a pretty good lap, really pushing the limits of most of the corners, making one mistake which cost me a little bit of time, but overall a pretty solid lap. But yeah, the reason why there's been a delay between my last episode I did, which I will be continuing this season, I really do want to finish this season because I do actually enjoy playing career mode in this game, is mainly because if you haven't seen my latest videos, which have been kind of ranty really about this game, and that's the reason why I haven't really been playing this game, to be honest, that much. So it's just in terms of the online, because that's what I'm really... That's the reason why I buy these games, is to race online, race wheel to wheel people, do league racing. That's what I absolutely love doing. That's what my channel is based around. And yeah, that is the reason why I play these games, because of me being the competitive person I am. I want to race against people online, and it's been quite disappointing for me personally. I'm sorry if I disrespected people in terms of their opinions. I'm not telling people to stop playing the game or anything like that. If you enjoy it and if it's playable for you, then you absolutely go for it. But for me, being on the Xbox, which may be probably its worst platform currently at the moment, you can't really have, or for me personally, I can't really have meaningful proper races with people, and that's the reason why I haven't really been playing this game. I've been playing other games such as Call of Duty, even PGR4, going back on the Xbox 360. But as you can see here, we're finishing this lap, and it's a pretty good lap around here. I'll be able to see a 32.8, I believe, or 6. I can't quite see it on the screen there, but you can see we are 3/10 ahead of Rosberg, and Hamilton's had a bit of a nightmare in that session. He's actually come 6th, so that really does help us, because I think he's actually leading the championship at the moment. So our target of getting a top 5 in the championship is definitely on the cards at the moment. But moving on from talking about anything bad about F1 2015, moving on to the good stuff, I really do enjoy racing offline in this game. I think the AI are pretty impressive, and they could still be improved, but in terms of a racing game, with so many variables and factors that go into it, I think it's a pretty good effort. They've definitely made a huge step in the right direction, and racing career mode is quite a lot of fun on this. And in terms of the track itself, Bahrain, it's a track that's been very kind to me in the past. I remember last game, F1 2014, I managed to win around here. 2013, actually the season before, I actually managed to win as well. So it's the last 2 league races in AOR I've actually won around here. So it's a track that's definitely good to me. And this was a track that was really brought on names itself. As you can see here, Rosberg gets us off the line. So it always seems to be the case, especially around no assists. I think maybe traction runners, they could get a bit of a better start, but running with no assists, you're always going to be a bit punished offline. As you can see a replay here, and Rosberg gets in first corner, but he managed to keep into 2nd place quite nicely. But moving back onto this track itself, it's definitely been a track that has, I don't really feel I've got a huge amount of pace on, but it's always been kind to me. I've always seemed to get really good, consistent results, because my first ever significant result really in league racing in terms of AOR was round here. I came 2nd to Noble in season 6. I was in the Sauber using the far chase cam. He was in the Toro Rosso, and that's when he was in his prime. He was absolutely dominating everyone, and through the strategy and just how I drove in that race, as you can see, we made a bit of a mistake there, but hopefully we can stay Rosberg. Moving on to the next lap now, you can see we're staying in quite close proximity of him. But I remember again, season 6 of AOR, I was only 3.5 seconds behind him. You'll be able to see that if you actually go to his channel. And the rest, I think the next car behind us about 10 seconds. So that's where I actually, wouldn't say challenged him, but actually the first time I really actually got close and actually matched him pretty much on pace in that race. And that was when things really started to go forward for me in terms of league racing. I think I got about 7 second places in a row in the next 9 races or something after that. So it's having good results, not in just league racing, but even in career mode, can really give you a big confidence boost, and that's what you need if you want to be successful. If you want to get that consistency going, you just need that one result where you got to put everything together. And then once you do that race where you put everything together, then it just confirms to yourself that you really really can do it. As we're moving on to the replay now, and you can see here Rosberg's opening up a bit of a gap to us, so we're in a bit of a lonely second place. And you can see there's a reasonable gap behind, so I believe that's Hamilton actually in third place. So we move on to lap 6 now, and our pace has been pretty good. The setup I'm using, you may notice 11-1-1-11, which is what I was using, or I have been using when I've been doing the practice around here. As I said, I haven't really been playing online really at all, so I haven't really used it online. But for me, it really does seem to work. It feels really comfortable. It feels pretty quick as well. As we're coming into the pits now, because the tyre wear, I've noticed no matter what you change on the setup, pretty much, it does not affect your tyre wear. That's for me. Maybe for someone else, it may be completely different. But for me, having quite a bit of experience in leagues and testing all the cars and the tyre wear, I think the only thing that makes a difference really is just your throttle input. If you're smoother on the throttle and you don't create as much wheel spin, then that will give you a little bit longer, but it won't give you a few laps longer. It may give you maybe like a lap longer or something like that. But coming up into 18th place now, going through the back markers, which is really, really important. So we've gone for the undercut again because, as I said, I really, really want to win a race in this season. I don't really want to just keep on getting on the podiums or just outside the opponents. I want to be winning a race. So we've gone for the undercut because the AI seems to be able to go definitely a little bit longer tires. So we're pushing the limits of the track there. So we really are maximising. That's why I'm enjoying this career mode, because I feel I'm actually driving as if I'm in a league race. I'm not half casting or anything. I'm actually pushing legitimately, actually pretty hard in each of these races with a setup as well. And this race I felt I was driving pretty well. A little bit rusty, as I said, because I haven't had too much practice. I haven't really been playing this game too much, but coming into this, it felt really, really refreshing to play again. I'm actually on my new monitor as well. I'm actually on a BenQ monitor, so wouldn't really make any difference, but the response time is pretty much 0. It's 1 mil response time, so it's pretty much the most reduced lag-free monitor you can get. As we go down the inside of Grosjean now, almost going into Verstappen, but hopefully in the sister team is going to leave us a little bit of room. And let's see if we can hold around the outside, which is double left, which was an absolute nightmare in previous games in terms of track breaker. But we actually managed to hold it round the outside, so he's been pretty nice. Let's get in the DRS in. You'll be able to see a replay here from his POV. You can see he just left us the room on the outside, didn't really fight it too much, and now we've got DRS up behind Hulkenberg, I believe, in 14th place. And let's see what happens here. We'll try and maximise the track on the entry and get a really, really nice line. And it looks like, just for our tyres, looks like the AI, since I've been pitted, look how slow they're actually going through here. This is really mincemeat of these people going through here. It's really, really easy to get through these people. I'm using 2-1 wing. You may be surprised. I think my setup video is actually using 1-1. I find in this game 2-1. Oh my god! And I remember doing that in the actual race that I just did not expect that. You'll be able to see a slow motion of the reaction time here. There was pretty nice, and another replay of it there that really did catch me off guard a little bit. But moving on to the end of this lap now, we're right behind Maldonado, going to turn 1 to see if we can possibly get. But you can see, as I was saying with my wing settings, I think I use 1-1 wing in the setup video, but I find 2-1 doesn't really change your speed at all. And as we make a little bit of contact, but luckily we didn't get any damage there, which was pretty fortunate. But I find 2-1 just a little bit of downforce. It actually helps your tyres as well. Like, if you didn't realise that, if you actually 1-1 wing, when your tyres go off, it will make your car quite stable, but you just won't have any grip at all. So having a little bit of downforce on, I found in this game, when I've been practicing with people when the game first came out, I found that was definitely the case. As we're going round the outside of the Toro Rosso now, I'm moving on to Rosberg. He's coming out the pits, and let's see where we are. Let's see if the undercut actually worked. And it looks like we just got out in front of him. So the undercut did work, but it wasn't really going as planned. I wanted to get a much bigger undercut than that of him, but we're going past our teammate, which should be relatively easy, and that is us into first position again. Hopefully we can hold out Rosberg for the next few corners at least, but it looks like Rosberg is pretty close behind. So with that Mercedes engine, I expect him to probably get past us reasonably quickly. It's moving on, or starting lap 12 now, and Rosberg has got our DRS, is in our slipstream. With that Mercedes power, should be a relatively easy pass. We're going to go defensive, try and outbrake him, but we just snatched on the brake just a little bit there, and he's managed to get on the cutback on us actually, and there's nothing we could do now. So hopefully we could just try and stay with him, but we've got a nice gap behind us. We can see in the replay here Just went a little bit too deep, just a little bit of a silly error really. I was actually quite annoyed when I actually did that because I actually was so desperate to keep in the lead of the race. But moving back on board now, if we can just try and stay with him, just try and stay in those DRS zones at least for the next lap, just because right now I was thinking it's probably going to be pretty difficult. He's probably going to be doing one stop less than me as well because he went a few laps longer than me on the tyres. And with the AI seemingly to have better tyre wear as well, I wasn't really expecting a challenger, but we're not going to give up. Giving up is not really something I like to do too often. But you can see this is the part of the track where I could only really close in there, and the rest of the track, especially on the straights, I couldn't close them at all. But we can see on lap 13, go into the pits now, changing onto the option tyres again. So I'm going to go for the undercut again because, as I said, I really wanted to at least just challenge him for the win, just try and put him under pressure. Maybe force the AI to go into a different strategy mode or something like that. But we're going to come out in 6th place. It's a pretty nice position. Got quite a lot of clear track ahead of us actually. We've got Massa who's about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of us. So we've definitely got a nice piece of track. And as you can see, a few laps later, we managed to close in them pretty quickly. So going to the final corner, going down the inside of him, he's not really going to fight too much. And that is a nice easy pass up into 5th place. Moving on to lap 17 now. We should hopefully be able to see where the other cars are. You can see Bottas is about 5 seconds up the road, so we're not really going to catch him too quickly now. But you can see the other cars have now pitted, so we are now into the lead. And you'll be able to see behind us is Rosberg, who's looks like he's a few seconds, three or 4 seconds behind. So we've made a pretty decent undercut, but it looks like he's going to go to the end of the race if he's pitting on that lap. So it's looking pretty comfortable. He's relatively close to us with a Ferrari in the background as well. So it looks like we're not going to come out in 2nd place. We're going to be coming out probably in about, I don't know, probably 3rd or 4th. And as you can see here, we did come out in 4th. We've got Vettel and Raikkonen ahead of us as well. So this is not great news for us. And we've got Bottas right behind us. So it seems to be getting quite a bit of a run on us going into turn 4. And let's see if he can go down the inside of us. And it looks like we're just going to outbrake him. We're going a little bit wide, but with fresher tyres, fresher prime tyres, with a good few laps fresher. Looks like it should be relatively easy to go or stay in front of him. As now we have come up behind Vettel. I believe Raikkonen has actually pitted, I believe, for some reason. We are now right behind Vettel. It should be hopefully an easy pass because in qualifying pace we did have a pretty big advantage over the other cars. So again, for those wing settings, the 2-1 wing should be a nice easy pass into turn 1 with Manakar in front of us as well. He's about to get lapped, and that's us in 2nd place. And I was pretty confident now that we were going to just secure our position in the race in 2nd place. But Rosberg, he's quite a few seconds out of reach now. I'll be able to see he's about to come across the line now. He's got a pretty big margin over us. But that is good for us for the championship though. We're definitely going to secure our place in the top 5 in the championship at least. And I'm really aiming for top 3 in the championship. That's something I would love to do because the next few tracks coming up are pretty good tracks for me. Although this one, it has always been kind to me. It hasn't really always been my fastest, but we're going to come across in 2nd place, which we're pretty happy about. Next race, I believe, is Spain, and that's Monaco, which should be pretty interesting. Red Bull should be good around there. And as you can see, Rosberg taking a win, us in 2nd and Vettel in 3rd. Pretty nice result, and you'll be able to see championship standings here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It wasn't the most exciting race in the world, but I know the next few races should be really good. But it's a series I really do enjoy. As I said, I will still do my tip videos. Anything to help you guys improve at the game, even though I won't really be playing the game online. Unless something significantly really does change with the system and the netcode and that, then I could maybe consider it. But those are the results of the race. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for supporting my channel recently, and I'll see you next video. Cheers.